Look at me, young. I'm on. I'm on, man. I hope everybody doing good. Let me check my. I gotta check. Look, I gotta check my sound settings. Logitech, camera's good. Mic. Look like the mic is good. Yeah, man. What's up? Welcome to Sports Talk Texas, baby. Thursday. Back in the building. You know what I'm saying? We got a little live show. It's just gonna be me today. Not too many, just me today. Chit chatting and talking about the different things that happened over the weekend, things that's coming up in NFC and AFC championship games. Talk about the Bills losing, talk about the Cowboys losing, and then we'll talk about the winners. We're gonna talk about some NBA action. You know what I mean? We're gonna do a little bit of all today, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do a little bit of it all today. Um, I appreciate you. You can be anywhere, anytime that you decide to come be with me, Dre B, in Sports Talk Texas. I'm gonna hit you with the intro, man. I'll see you in 50 seconds. Tune in to Sports Talk Texas, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Texas time. Would say do anything known. Man, get the Super Bowls now.
I'm gone, my boy.
All right, bro. I'll see you next time.
Who won the Super Bowl?
That's what Jerry said.
Oh.
he ain't going though. Yeah, man, it's all good. Say, man, welcome. Hold on, I want to get the agenda together for y'all real quick, man. I gotta talk about my dude back. Yo, Sports Talk Texas, salute out to you, Indy Breeze. Appreciate you coming out. Love it. Good to see you, man. I want to start off, man. I want to talk about, first of all, again, thank everybody for showing up. But I want to talk about Ed Reed and the HBCU dramatics. I've been seeing a little bit of that. And I know a lot of people are like, it brings back up the Dion situation. And, being putting him on another scale as far as somebody who could help, lift HBCUs. Not everybody's built for this. It don't just take, being a great player. It ain't just being, a great talker, debating person, or having all the stats. Like Ed Reed is a very respectable dude. I know a lot of people respect Ed Reed, but look at the HBCU. They ain't even trying to work with him, man. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's telling the truth about how they shortchanging, everybody, and not really put nothing into the schools to make things better. I know some people are like, oh, he handled it wrong. I don't think he handled it wrong. I think he just told the truth. Behind closed doors, people tell you anything. They try to be political with you and all that. But when you put everything out on the forefront, nobody want to make any moves, make any changes. The HBCUs need to make changes. And yes, I was on Dion's nose about leaving. I still think that Dion could have made a bigger difference than what most people would do. Most normal athletes can do for that spot, man. So, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the HBCU with the Ed Reed situation, but I would love to know what y'all think about everybody who's like, how they don't want to support that guy. Moving on real quick, last weekend, I want to say shout out to JB, my cousin JB, who's normally here with me. He's a Cowboys fan. I think he's a little sick right now because of what happened. I know he was upset. I tried to tell him that, anything they got after that first playoff victory was butter. Because a lot of people, not a lot of fans, a lot of, people had them not even winning, not even making the playoffs, especially after, what happened in the first game when Dak got hurt. People didn't even think the Cowboys were going to make the damn playoffs, bro. But then they made it anyway. And they got a victory, man. They got the dub that I predicted earlier this year. I think they learned a valuable lesson from last year, having that week off and then having to play Frisco, fresh out the bye week. They came in more focused this year. Bottom line is that the Cowboys just aren't, they just aren't a good enough team to get to the NFC Championship game. They're not consistent enough, man. And I know everybody be blaming Dak. Dak. Don't get me wrong, Dak got his problem, but it ain't just Dak, man. Like if y'all see everything, you look at the play call, and the play call is terrible. It's terrible, man. Kellen Moore calls terrible games. Time management by McCarthy, the strategy and philosophy he used. I don't know what he was doing sometimes. Everybody talked about that punt that he did, after wasting 30 seconds, not calling timeout, and just punting fast. Hurry up, bro. What are you doing? It's the same. It's the same thing. Even the last play of the game. Last play of the game. Like, what kind of trick play was that? What was that? And then you go through the game, right? And I'm back on Zeke Elliott. I've been saying it all year. I've been saying it for years. Overrated, man. You know what I'm saying? And he did say that he's willing to take a pay cut to stay in Dallas. Oh, now you talking, bro. Now you talking like somebody with some sense because you didn't rob them boys, man. Top 5 paid running back and giving bottom 5 results, man. We had 800 and some yards this year. I get it. I know. Everybody be like, well, he's sharing carries. Yeah, he's sharing carries because he's not that guy. When you're that guy, you don't have to share carries, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you sharing carries, bro, you know what I mean? You shouldn't be getting paid number one, running back money, bro. So and Tony Pollard getting hurt in being a free agent this year, that sucks, man. As soon as Tony Pollard went out the game, everybody knew what it was. We knew it was over. We knew it was over. So that was pretty bad. I do want to, I was looking up some stuff, man, about the MVP finalists, bro, in the NFL, and I was actually surprised. There was actually one non-quarterback in the top 5. It's Justin Jefferson. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think he's a MVP caliber guy, but whatever. But everybody else are your normal people. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. All those quarterbacks are worthy, man. They're worthy to be MVPs. I think being an MVP is more about not just production, but it's also popularity and marketability. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just you being good. Mahomes to me probably has the most marketability out of all these guys. He has like the complete package. He's good. He's in a great system. He's been winning. And he's the light skinned version, man. Light skinned version of Steph Curry in the NFL. You know what I mean? Everybody seems to like him. Only reason they don't like him is because his life is so good, And then you got Josh Allen. I don't know if Josh Allen should be up there, man. He's a good quarterback, but I don't know if he's an MVP caliber type player. You know what I mean? Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts deserves everything that's coming to him. He got hurt, and the Eagles, they couldn't even win a game to clinch. They had to bring him back on the last game just to clinch. So he's obviously important towards their success. Only thing is, I don't know about his marketability and popularity outside of being it's like somebody being an Eagles fan and just really rooting for Jalen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think, like I said, I think popularity has a lot to do with that vote for the most valuable player. So it's like how does he get it? You know what I'm saying? Oh, what's up? I got my boy Red waiting in the studio. I'm finna bring him in. We finna get it on. Just a second. What's up, Red?
What's up with you, family?
Man, chilling, brother. You good?
Man, double salute, man.
Yes, sir. Salute, man. Glad to see you off work and chilling right now. You know what I mean?
Man. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm just sitting here. I was looking at some of the sports stuff, and I was looking at the NFL MVP candidates. You know what I'm saying? The top 5 was it Mahomes, Allen, Hurts, Jefferson, and Burrow. Like, what you think of that list? You think that's a good top 5?
Yeah, I do think that's a good top 5. I think if I had to pick, I'd probably say Mahomes definitely deserves it. But yeah, I think that's a real good list. I wish they would start putting defensive players into there. That's the only thing I hate. I feel like that became like an offensive award now instead of actually being an NFL award. It used to be more of the NFL award than just an offensive. Now it's basically the best offensive player seems to win the award.
And it's usually a quarterback, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like it's kind of like taken away from the whole NFL because it should be the best player, not just the best offensive player. I understand everybody want to go with the scoring and the offense and stuff like that, but I think that particular award should not be just for just one side. Yeah. I think there's some good defensive players that deserve and has a lot of good impact as much as an offensive player does also.
Yeah, for sure. I think over the past 20, 25 years, it's only been what one other position that didn't, that got it besides a quarterback. Out of
Yeah.
25 years, that's crazy.
And every time there is, it's always like some historic thing that they did. Like they broke some kind of undone record that ain't been done in like 15 or 20 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time it really happened. It's got to be something really amazing for somebody other than a quarterback to get it.
What you think about not the credentials that it takes to be let's say a MVP, right? Obviously stats matter, but I was saying, like, before you got on, like, I looked at Josh Allen, I looked at even Hurts, and I'm like, even though they got good stats, are they marketable? You know what I'm saying? Is Jalen Hurts really marketable? Is his popularity really big outside of Philly? You know what I'm saying? As an individual player, I think a lot of that, like you said with Mahomes has the image. He has the style. He has he has people outside of Kansas City who love him and cheer for him. So I think they put a lot of that into the credentials for the MVP, which is why with them pushing quarterbacks as always being a winner or a loser, that they always get the damn award. To me, that a quarterback should be getting more offensive awards. Like that offensive player of the year, that should be towards like quarterbacks, wide receivers, whatever, running backs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm with you 100% because I do feel like that it's more given to the offensive player. I think that it should be an offensive award, like they have a defensive award, and then pretty much the best player award. And whoever that is, and maybe it is a quarterback that year. But I feel like in the past we have seen where maybe a defensive player or a running back or a wide receiver probably should get it, and they not even the mentions like Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson had an amazing season. I think he beat Randy Moss record with the most receiving yards in his first 3 years by a wide receiver. Yeah. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And then I think he led the league this year in receptions. I think it was like 1,700 yards or something like that. Almost 1,700 yards.
Yeah, he almost had 2,000.
And I said, and look at his quarterback. It ain't like he's playing with Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. He's playing with Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? There's really not another wide receiver over there. You know what I'm saying? They can take away the coverage. Everybody pretty much knows who you got to cover when you play the Minnesota Vikings, and he still puts up the numbers that he puts up.
Yeah.
I think he has an argument, but he doesn't because he's not a quarterback.
Yeah. It's
you know
hard.
What I'm
saying? Yeah. I wouldn't have voted him in my top 5 probably, most valuable players. But that's got something to do with me being a Detroit Lions fan and feeling like Minnesota was a little overrated this year. But he is a good player. Definitely a good player. So you came in late, but we still in the NFL, man. We're gonna talk about we got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about what happened with the 49ers and the Cowboys. Let's get it off our chest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we'll get on to the Bills and my Bengals and the Bills.
Well, you know me, bro. I'm a realist. So that one hurt, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I really thought that we had a chance to win the game. I think that we matched up with that team pretty good. At the end of the day, man, our quarterback Dak, he let us down. I mean, like at the end of the day, we pay him. I mean, as much as given, much as expected. I teach my kids that as much as given, much as expected. And we pay you $40 million. You are the franchise of the Dallas Cowboys. There's so many endorsements and so many different things that come with that. Once you get on that big stage, you have to show up, man. And I can honestly say it was because of Dak that we lost that game.
Wow.
Seriously. It was it was 2 plays that was called that because of him changed the complex of that whole game and scoring and everything. Well, the first play was the first interception that he threw to Michael Gallup. Well, he was throwing to Michael Gallup that got picked off. We was on our side of the field. We was on like the 27-yard line on our side of the field. So they already, once they got the interception, that was a field goal. That was 3 points there. And then he threw another interception that Ward tipped off CD Lamb and Fred Warner in the kitchen, but he looked right at CD Lamb. It was Schultz was open in the corner, but he kind of like telegraphed where he was going with the ball as soon as he said "hut." And Ward realized it and made a play on the ball. He didn't intercept it, but he hit it, and the ball popped up, and Fred Warner ended up intercepted. But we was on the 17-yard line. We in scoring position right then. You know what I'm saying? At worst, we in field goal. At worst, we got at least a field goal.
Yeah.
They don't, then they go right down the field and then get a field goal. So that's 9-point change that you did off 2 plays.
Okay.
And we end up losing by 7.
Yeah.
In
So
the big stage, in those type of games, those defense that you're gonna face, you gotta make the plays. You gotta give what the defense is giving to you. And I don't know if Dak is not reading it or what it is, but he caused us to lose that game.
So I hate and I get it. I'm not going to sit up here and defend, Dak, because he didn't play good at all, right? But also, I hate the fact that when I'm watching the Cowboys game, it's not just. I keep saying it's not just him, and I mean it. Look, the play calling is terrible. Kellen Moore's play calling is fucking terrible, right? The running game is, to me, I know everybody says it's a top 5, top 10 Russian offense. I don't see it. I don't see it as being stat wise, you're getting the numbers, but it's not a Russian offense where it's like, hey, like for instance, Tennessee. You listen, Tennessee gonna run that ball. That's what they do. That's their bread and butter. That's not the bread. It's not really the bread and butter of the Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a dominant facet of when it's supposed to be. So when Tony Pollard goes out, the whole offense changes. And not only does it change, Kellen Moore doesn't even adapt to his personnel. Yeah. You know what package you need in for Zeke. Why are you still running plays where you got Zeke going out in the flats on wheel routes and stuff when that's not what his strength is? Yeah. He's not even a threat. You know what I'm saying, on those kind of plays. Yeah. And Dak made some bad decisions though too. Like when they would run those plays, it's like he was out of sorts. And like say he was passing to the wrong people in the double coverage, behind guys. Not accurate. There was a skinny post, I believe, that CD Lamb ran. He beat the man to the inside. Dude threw it back and behind him. Let the defender catch up and easily knock it down. I don't know if you remember that play.
Yeah, I remember that. He did. He had another one with Gallup that was down the field. That Gallup had his man beat, and he threw the ball behind him. He wasn't able to play. Like I said, Dak played rattled, man. Like I said, I'm not really ready for him to. I know some people like, man, get rid of Dak. Trade him. I even seen somebody saying trade him for Aaron Rodgers, which is the craziest thing I ever heard. But yeah, people saying trade him. I'm not going that far. This is the playoffs. It is hard. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. Peyton Manning didn't win into his 4th year in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, you struggle. You're playing some of the best teams in the league when you get into the playoffs. These are not easy games. You see him what he did against Tampa. Tampa wasn't a great team like that. The 49ers are a good team, and when you face these type of teams, you have to play your best game. You have to give them what the defense is giving you. He played like he was playing like in a regular season game, to where he can just let it, you know what I'm saying, throw balls, look at passes, and it's not that. But I don't want to get rid of him. I think he still has some ways to learn it. Now, in these next couple of years, we got to get past the divisional round. If he don't get past the divisional round in the next 2 years, once his contract is up, then we might need to start looking for another quarterback.
All right, I want to go to our comments real quick, brother. Chris G say that was a weird last play. That last play was weird to me. I don't even know what they were doing. He also said he know nobody gonna get him. That's why he wanted to take a pay cut. Talking about Zeke. I mean, because you heard that about Zeke. He said I'll take a pay cut to stay, which is smart. You know what I mean? Let's see here.
I mean, like I said, you're different when you playing for the Dallas Cowboys, man. I know a lot of people don't want to admit it because they don't like it. I understand, but in actuality, when you play for that brand and that name, it's something a little bit different. And Zeke is a household name. People recognize him. People know him. So long as he get that star under him, it's better than going somewhere and playing for $3 million at Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland or something like that. When you're gonna disappear after a couple of years.
Wow. Hey, I got something for you. Look, this is big. Going back to the Dallas game. Larry says that Kittle drive hurt. Diggs missed the tackle and dropped the pick. And he, you know what? Absolutely correct. That was a big momentum shifter, bro.
That pick did. They scored on that. They scored a couple plays.
That was a third down play. Third down play. So you got a great catch. It changed the momentum. And Diggs also dropped the interception right in his bread basket on that play.
Yeah. They scored after that play. But like I said, at that point in time, you cannot blame it on your defense. At any point in time, I don't give a damn if the defense missed the tackle. I don't give a damn if the defense missed the interception. I don't give a damn about none of that. Because listen to me. That defense led that team at home in a playoff game to 19 points. That team had been second in scoring almost 33 points, 35 points a game. You stopped them. Purdy was high as fish grease coming into the game. They put up 40 points on Seattle the week before. You know what I'm saying? They score a lot of points. 19 points at home. Purdy didn't throw a touchdown. Debo Samuels was non-existent.
But those are big plays. At the end of the day, it's still a team game. Like, and if you make some of these plays, I get it. Again, I think Kittle's made a great catch, but I also think that Diggs read that play wrong. Like he missed completely. I don't know if he was trying to dislodge the ball or what. And again, these things happen. But this is what we do though. We put the blame on one set, one person, and then other people we give them reasons as to why something didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? You need those plays. Diggs had both hands on the ball. He's a ball hawk. Okay, he's not some guy who's a hitter. He's a ball hawk. So if that ball hits his hands and both of them, he's supposed to be taking that to the house. He's not supposed to drop it. You know what I mean? And then we go back to the running game. I get it. We didn't get the right calls. You know what I'm saying, from Kellen Moore. But that's also a lack of confidence in the guy that's playing. You see what I'm saying? I don't have confidence in this guy, so I got to try something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of things with offensive coordinators we really can't see. It's really based on a quarterback because, see, whenever we don't see a play that's successful, we say, okay, that was a good call. But then we see a play that wasn't successful, we say, oh, that's a bad call.
Sure.
Not knowing what most of the time these quarterbacks are given two plays. They have a kill situation to where they can switch the play or change the play or change the side or whatever. So a lot of those plays with Dak being a veteran quarterback like he is, been in the league 7 years, I'm pretty sure he's getting a couple of plays. Kellen Moore is not a bad offensive coordinator because the last 2 years he's been top 5 in scoring. Yeah. The last 2 years, Dallas is one of the only teams that score 40 points multiple times. They score 30 points in what's called like they get the best out of their talent. I feel like with less talent that they have.
You slick, boy. They have scored a lot of points, but it has been also against lower level competition. Because then when they get in the playoffs, they're not putting up them points, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, because they scored 40 points against the Eagles, and the Eagles is one of the best defenses in the league. And when they came to Dallas, we was the only ones who gave Philly. Philly haven't gave 40 points to nobody else in the league but to us. We the only person that scored over 35 points against Philly this season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when we play certain teams, and like I said, everybody knows we need a number 2 wide receiver. We don't have a number 2 wide receiver. And you just said yourself, our number 1 running back is not that great. We both agree that Dak Prescott is not an elite quarterback.
Yeah, he's
his offense is top 5 in the league. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like Kellen Moore gets a lot of blame that Dak should share because, like I said, Dak is a quarterback. When you're a veteran quarterback in this league, you run that team. You can tell the offensive coordinator, I don't think we should do this right now. And the offensive coordinator will respect the fact that you are a veteran and change the play. Like, I'll give you 2 plays so you will have an option on if you don't like something and you see something different that you can change it. I feel like the plays that's being called are not bad as much as the decision making that Dak Prescott is making when the plays are being called. Because I see open people down the field and Dak is just not hitting them, or he's throwing it behind them.
I agree. Hold on. Let's go here real quick. I want to go back to our comments, man. LD say Zeke is washed. Wayman Moore. Hey, what's up, Wayman? He say fly, Eagles fly. We already know what we're doing right there. Okay, if Turpin runs to outside that 6 on the I remember that. I don't know if you remember that. He went inside. He definitely went outside.
I don't understand that. I feel like that's the only thing I feel like about Kellen Moore that I disagree with. Kevon Turpin is a weapon. He's one of the fastest people alive. He's one of the fastest people in the NFL. Mm-hmm. He won USF MVP. He knows how to play wide receiver and kickoff return. Use him. I don't understand why they didn't use him in the offense more as a slot wide receiver or coming out the backfield and getting lined up on the linebacker or something like that. That's the only thing Kellen Moore I wish he would have got a little bit more creative with Kevon Turpin and using that speed. Like you said, maybe instead of making Zeke run that route outside on the wheel route, let Turpin do that. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody with some speed and some creativity in wide receiver to do that. And he did it the whole year.
So those are those are my points when I say about him being an offensive coordinator. Yes, he does. I mean, obviously the offense puts up numbers, but the consistency, what's the philosophy? Where's the innovation? You know what I'm saying? Like everything is real simple. Dive play, zone read blocking, sweeps. It's simple. First, second down, we already usually know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes when they do run a trick play, there's no setup for the trick play. It's just a trick play out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things I'm talking about with Kellen Moore. And hope I think has he been there 4 years now?
Yeah,
3-4 years.
4 years.
I mean, maybe next year he'll switch it up a little bit. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, he's still young, man. Like I said, he's only 37 years old, man. He's still a young coach. He's going to get better with time, like everything does. But yeah, I feel like with the team that he has had around him, because like I said, I don't think Dak is elite. I think Dak is maybe like a top 12 quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we don't have really much of a running game. Pollard is a diamond in the rough, but Zeke is not what he was. And other than CD Lamb, what wide receiver do we have? You know what I'm saying? And we top 5 offense. So he makes it work to his ability. I do think that we need another wide receiver. I think they got to pair somebody over there with CD Lamb. And I heard, now I don't know how true this is, but I heard Dallas is talking about trading for DeAndre Hopkins because he wants out of Arizona. And they say Jerry always loved him. So and we get DeAndre Hopkins, bro.
That'd be decent. That's decent.
With CD Lamb. And we
right.
I think we can do pretty good, man.
All right, so Jeff says Zeke need to leave, fresh start in Baltimore somewhere. Okay, talking about LD again. Larry said, and what up with it, Jeff? Gallup got to fight more on his route. That's what also not talking about is the disconnect between Gallup and Dak this year. Yeah, I agree.
And look how much we paying. Hey, Larry, look how much we paying him. Also, bro, we paying Gallup almost $13 million a year, man. You know what I'm saying? We pay him like a number 2 wide receiver, and he's not even the number. He don't even give us number 3 numbers. You know what I'm saying? So we are overpaid for him. I believe you're going to see a lot of change in this offseason with the Dallas Cowboys. They already did with the coaching staff today. Well, 5 new coaches are going to be coming in, and I think before June 1st, before they do that, you're going to see a lot of free agents move out of there.
Look, man, they coming in, bro. Hold on, my boy. He said they traded Cooper in confidence that Gallup would get better. Yeah, he definitely did.
He hasn't, and they saved only like $7 million for that. They cut him for $20 million and then signed Gallup for $13, and you got a way disadvantage.
Larry agrees with you. Definitely should use Turpin more. Mr. Moonshot says the Cowboys are done. He's from Michigan. He's in Arizona, I believe. But I mean,
tell them they better keep DeAndre Hopkins. That's all I know. But we sure will take him.
Hey, man, that'll be a good one. Didn't T.Y. Hilton play for a little bit?
He did, but I feel like he's the same thing. I feel like I will bring him back on a league minimum. You know what I'm saying? For like a veterans deal, but I don't think he's where he is. I think we need another big name wide receiver that people gotta respect.
Cuzzo say he a Rams fan.
Oh man, well they got a long way to go. They gotta figure out what they gonna do with their cap, man. They got a lot of people. They got like a lot of players on their team, but they only playing like 3 or 4 players.
Right. They paid so many people to buy that Super Bowl from Stafford, that defense, everything, and now it's like your rebuild has to start soon because they built naturally when they had Goffman. That was through the draft, and, you know what I'm saying, through the draft, a few free agents or whatever. But when they bought that Super Bowl was when they bought Stafford, they bought OJ, Beckham and all that. So now it's like, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean?
And they traded all their draft picks. They traded draft picks for Stafford. They traded draft picks for Ramsey. So they have no draft picks to build the team back up. So
Detroit got their draft pick.
They got a long way.
Yep. Free agent receivers are a bad investment. Old ones are too. Draft them instead. You know what? I can see that.
Jeffrey, you totally right. If you see a wide receiver in the draft coming up in April and you believe that it's somewhere that can change it, I'm with it. I mean, because we really don't have too many holes. We need a cornerback, we need a wide receiver, a running back, but I think you can get all those in the draft. So I mean, draft the best player available. That's what I say for Dallas.
And you can get them late rounds, Red. You can get a wide receiver late round. You get a running back late round. Third, fourth round. You get good talent in those later rounds. So
Pollard was a 4th round pick. Gallup was a 3rd round pick. So I mean, yeah, we definitely can do it. I'm with all that. I mean, I hope, but I feel like some talents is worth the risk, and I feel like a talent like DeAndre Hopkins, because when he's at his best, we know he's a top 5 wide receiver in the league. I feel like a player like that, I think it's going to be better than any player that's coming out of college right now. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a wide receiver coming out of college that we can draft that would be better than DeAndre Hopkins right now.
All right, so look, we talked about this. Let's get to it. These damn Bills, man. Bills and Bengals, man. I was right. I had the Bills in the top 5 all year.
All year.
5.
All year.
Right? But I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong though.
Was it?
I wasn't wrong. They lost against another top 5 team. The Bengals. I think they got the bad draw there. What I was really hoping was that Kansas City would have to play both of them instead of them having to cancel each other out. Because I feel like those are the top 3 teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
Kansas City, the Chiefs. I said the Chiefs. Kansas City, the Bengals, and the Bills, right? And I would rather have seen Kansas City go through both than them having to cancel each other out. Now, watching the game, I was shocked. Offensively, man, they didn't get nothing going. They just didn't get nothing going. Defensively, I was hoping, kind of predicting that they would come around because they had a lot of injuries this year. And I thought maybe those people coming back, but then they get another injury to the, Hamlin, and they still had linebacker issues. So, they just couldn't get it done, bro. And one thing y'all did say, they had no running game. And in that snow, you need a running game, and they did not have a running game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But one thing I want to say, bro, is you can tell the hatred, and I'm like I said, I'm not a hater. I don't even know how to hate. But you can tell the hatred that comes for Dak than it does for other quarterbacks because he's a Cowboys quarterback. Because Josh Allen did not show up at all the same way. Josh Allen lost worse than Dak did at home on a big game, and he gets paid a little bit more than Dak even get paid. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the pushback that comes against Dak, you don't even hear nothing about Josh Allen. And they didn't show up that game, and they lost worse than Dallas did. Dallas lost 12-19. They got blew out by 17 points at home. They didn't put up 2 touchdowns at home.
Yeah.
This big offense with Josh Allen throwing the ball all over the field with and Stephon Diggs and big play Davis, they did nothing, man. And in their own stadium. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that should be called out a little bit more than Dallas was, but you didn't hear nothing on the major medias about Buffalo like you did with Dallas. And I understand the reason why, because it's just the Cowboys, it's the brand. But I feel like you're gonna do the same thing for one. It should be done on the other because they didn't show up at all either, man. They got dealt with, and I did think they're gonna lose. They did lose to a team that I think gonna win the Super Bowl. I got the Cincinnati Bengals winning the Super Bowl. I don't care who they play. I think Joe Burrow is on a different level. I think Joe Burrow might be better than Patrick Mahomes. I know people think I might be crazy to say that right now, but Joe's something serious, man. That boy is really something that you know what I'm saying, a talent that I think that people sleep on. And he did it in college. He came in the league. He and I already in 2 years took his team to the Super Bowl, and he might about to do it back-to-back years. And I don't think this year here he gonna lose.
Hey, y'all heard that, man? He said he thinks Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. What y'all think? Is Joe Burrow a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes? I would like to know.
Hey, the only thing I know is they have went up against each other 3 times, and Joe Burrow is 3-0. He ain't lost to Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not saying he's a better total talent than Patrick Mahomes, but I'm saying that Tom Brady and that Peyton Manning matchup is serious. It's not taking away anything from greatness because greatness is greatness.
For sure. But Red, I hate that we say they matched up against each other. It's like it's Mahomes against Cincinnati's defense. It's Burrow against Kansas City's defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I said, but we also know that when you're a quarterback, your decision making and your aggressive attention has to kick in somewhere. You gotta be aggressive with the ball. You gotta make smart decisions and take control of the offense. You can't be shook and can't be, you know what I'm saying, thinking about the defense and what they're doing to you. You gotta dictate them. And so I think when you have that killer instincts as a quarterback, when you see like a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning, a Drew Brees, when they dial in, like Montana and all them boys, they different. And I feel like Joe Burrow, like Patrick has the same trait, but I feel like Joe Burrow has a different type of instincts. He has a killer type of mindset, like to where he like, like how Jordan used to be, like where he uses things to motivate him to be great. Because it was a whole bunch of things saying the Bills was already picking the AFC Championship with the Chiefs. They was already selling tickets. They had sold 50,000 tickets to Atlanta for the Kansas City and the Bengals game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think Joe Burrow took that personal and he used that to fuel him. And they went out there and they balled in the snow in Buffalo.
What's up, fella? What's up, baby? Saying what's up to the fellas, man. What's up to the fellas? No, that's cool. No, I agree. I think Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes are definitely gonna, as long as there's no injuries involved, they're gonna be like you said, like Brady and Manning was back in the day, a rivalry where you got two great quarterbacks leading their teams to the promised land, fighting against each other to get there all the time. Hold on, we're gonna look at some more comments. My boy Larry said, I told you the Bills wasn't going to do anything, being one dimensional.
You was on them all year. You was on them all year.
Hey, I did. Jeff got Chiefs versus Eagles in the Super Bowl. Mahomes gets his second ring. I got Cincinnati versus the 49ers. The offense doesn't work in the playoffs. Defensive injuries hurt them as well. He's talking about the Bills. I agree on that. Hey, Josh Allen ain't do nothing versus Cincy, and it was crickets. You know what?
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing from nobody, bro.
Nothing.
It wasn't nothing. They talked about it, but it was nowhere near major like how Dak was. Everybody, they was showing plays, they was showing everything, and it well deserved. Like I said,
Joe Burrow can't be better until he wins something. Patrick still the A1.
That shit. That was crazy.
Cincinnati was in the when that Cincinnati in the Super Bowl just lost
against the Rams, last year.
I can't hear you, bro.
They lost against the Rams last year.
Hold on. Yeah, Cincinnati. I feel that though. Let me see. Let's go to audio. Let's bring that on the speaker.
No. Hey, ain't no way am I taking away from Patrick Mahomes. What'd you say there? What'd you say, Dre? Can you hear me?
You there with me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I couldn't hear you at first. I can hear you now. My bad.
Okay, now you good.
I lost y'all. Okay, said Bengals 3-0 over the Chiefs because of coaching, not the quarterback matchup.
So you saying Andy Reed is not a better coach than what they got over in Cincinnati?
Yeah, I don't even know who the coach is in Cincinnati. Who's that coach?
I mean, I forgot his name, but he's a young coach. He just became the head coach about 4 or 5 years ago. He ain't been there that long. He ain't been no head coach nowhere else. He's not a big name. He ain't no damn Andy Reid.
Yeah, I don't know. I do agree with that.
No, I'm like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback. He's probably going to go down as one of the top 10 greatest of all time. But I'm saying whenever him and Joe go against each other, Joe plays some kind of different way. Joe sees it like a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like a Magic and Jordan. Like I said, like a Brady or Peyton. Joe Burrow knows he's as good as Patrick Mahomes is, and he's not scared of him. He wants to, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he feel like Patrick can do, he feel like he can do also. And that's what he does when he plays against great quarterbacks. He just did the same thing against Josh Allen. Joe Burrow has a different type of instincts, and like I said, I love it. Jeremy Jackson, hey, Red, I told you the Cowboys wasn't ready. Hey, I expected to come my way, man. I was expecting more than this, truthfully. I thought I was going to hear more. Because I can't say nothing. You're right, man. They wasn't ready, man. Jeremy, I got it, man.
You've been saying this 30 though, bro. Let me see. Yeah, all games came down to a field goal.
He's saying when you talking about when Kansas City and the Chiefs. Yeah,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying, this is big boy football. So when you playing big boy football, like I said, it's not about like these high scoring games and stuff like that. It's about decision making. It's about leading your team to the win. And whether you gotta lead them down the field to kick a field goal to win the game, whatever you do, you make less mistakes than the other quarterback do. You make more plays than the other quarterback does to win the game. And 3 times Joe Burrow has done that against Patrick Mahomes. And if he do it on Sunday, that will be the 4th time. And I think you got to start saying something about that because he didn't beat him in big games. It ain't like he beat him in trash games. He beat him in the AFC Championship last year, and he'll be beating him in the AFC Championship this year. That's twice in 2 years. Back-to-back games.
The first time they beat them, Red, was I think it was some about home court or home field advantage in the playoffs or the clinch playoff spot. The first game, they beat them in the regular season.
Yeah.
And then they came back in the second half and beat them, and then they ended up playing them in the playoffs and beat them again. I think in Kansas City, second half they came out and caught up with 1-1. So they beat them convincingly. It's like the defense has Mahomes' number, you know.
And they was in Kansas City. That's I forget. They was in Kansas City last year in the AFC Championship. Cincinnati went into Kansas City and beat them. So, like I said, Joe Burrow is not scared of Patrick Mahomes. And I'm not saying that Patrick Mahomes is not a great quarterback. He is. But I'm just saying Joe Burrow need to get a little bit more respect. And if he beat Patrick Mahomes again this year in back-to-back seasons in the AFC Championship in his home, in his stadium, I mean, you guys start kind of looking at things a little different with that boy, man.
Yeah. So you did say Joe Burrow you thought was better than Mahomes. I think they about equal. I think they have different styles, bro. But as far as like you take either one of those quarterbacks and slap them on your team, you get to a contention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Mahomes probably scrambles a bit better than him. But other than that, when you look at like leading defenses and breaking defenses down and having accuracy on your throws, having strong arms, hitting tight windows, yeah, they equal, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't think that Joe Burrow is a better total player than Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, I think Patrick Mahomes should win the MVP this year. I feel like when I was arguing with one of my guys at my job because he said that he's a Philly fan, he thinks Jalen Hurts should win the MVP. And I told him, let's go down the list. If you had to say who had the better wide receivers, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, who would you say? Jalen. If you had to say who had the better running backs, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen, who would you say? Jalen. If you had to say who had the better defense, Patrick Mahomes or Jalen, who would you say? Jalen. But instead, Patrick Mahomes leads in yards. He leads in touchdowns in the season where he has less talent than mostly every quarterback in the league.
Why do you say he has better receivers? Just because of AJ?
I think Jalen has better receivers than Patrick Mahomes. He has AJ Brown and he has Devontae Smith. Both of them have over 1,000 yards receiving this year. And other than Kelsey, which is the tight end, I mean he's used like a wide receiver. But other than Kelsey, they have a bunch of mixed matchup players. You know what I'm saying? They create it, and it's the quarterback. And like I said, he loses one of his biggest weapons in Tyreek Hill, and what do? He leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns.
Still handling his business at a high level. Yeah, I think. Let's see, Larry say I said the Niners for Bengals at the beginning of the playoffs. The Burrows winning.
Hey, I'm with you. I say I don't care who wins out of the 49ers and Eagles. I think the Eagles is going to win because I think they have a full talent of teams. Of an entire team. I feel like even though the 49ers is a good team, they still do struggle in a quarterback. And you seen what Purdy did. Purdy did nothing to us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Purdy didn't have like I said, he didn't throw for a touchdown. He didn't have over 200 yards passing. He didn't make no mistakes, but you can tell like he started to feel the difference in the defense of playing Seattle and then playing us. And Philly is the same way, or maybe even a little bit better than us because I think they have a better secondary than we do. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's another step up that he's gonna have to face. That he hasn't seen yet. Like when you play playoff ball, each level the teams get better and better. And I think Philly's gonna be at home. They're gonna be rocking in the rink. And so I feel like Philly's gonna win, and I think they're gonna play against Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is gonna beat Philly in the Super Bowl.
I've been wrong about Philly all year. Even before the preseason, they had predictions for them being a Super Bowl contender. I was like, what? How? You know what I'm saying? But all year they've been solid. Balanced. Left, right. With offense and defense. But I'm still sticking with what I think right now. I think the Niners are going to beat them, bro. I think it's going to be a close game, of course. Yeah. I just think that running game, the balance of the Niners, they're going to come in there and they're going to win like 34-31 or something like that. It should be a good game.
They defense definitely puts them in any game. They have a really all-time defense. They have all pros at every level, and they play together. Like I said, they shocked us. If somebody would have told us that we were going to go put up 12 points in the game, I would never believed you. I thought we would at least go 2 touchdowns, and we did.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was really shocked at how low scoring they kept us.
I was honestly shocked at how y'all was able to stop their running game so well.
Well, see, I knew our defense was going to show up, like I said, because Purdy is not a quarterback. He's not going to throw like how he did against us. We don't let quarterbacks do that. So I knew that we was going to basically just have to stop that running game. If we did that, then we can make it a close game. I didn't think they was going to be able to stop our offense. I was thinking that we was going to be able to at least outscore them because I don't think they was going to be able to score with us. I was scared that we was going to score like at least 3 touchdowns, at least 21 points with all the weapons that we had. And only person that showed up was C.D. Lamb. C.D. Lamb balled.
Yeah, he did.
He balled.
C.D. Lamb had a good year this year, though, bro.
He did. To me, he's definitely a number one. I think that all the hate and all the arguments stop it, bro. He's definitely a number one. This boy played without no other wide receiver on his team the whole season. They went and got T.Y. Hilton in the middle of the season. Gallup didn't play the whole year. Noah Brown was inconsistent. This boy was not. Everybody knew who the number one wide receiver was on the Dallas Cowboys. He still was top 10 in every category.
All right, so I'm gonna throw something at you. Just make sure. So your predictions are Philly versus the Bengals.
Yes, sir.
All right, Philly versus the Bengals. You got Philly winning the Super Bowl.
No, the Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati winning the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow get his first one.
Well, I can't. My prediction was the Bills, but I did have the Niners in there, so I still think they're gonna make the Super Bowl. Man, we might get a rematch. Not Cincinnati.
The Chiefs.
Might get the 49ers and the Chiefs again.
That's what I'm talking about. See, I feel like that's not fair because then again, you're still at a disadvantage at quarterback. And even though the 49ers got, like I said, an all-time defense, they're going against an all-time quarterback. And I want the quarterback matchup to be a little bit more even, man. I just feel like that's just
your defense elite though, man. It evens the playing field because
around.
Kansas City defense. I mean, it's average. I'm not gonna call it bad. It's average. And then you play, Frisco, who has an elite defense and pretty decent running game. They built on running. I think it almost cancels out Mahomes because he can't just go out there and do what he wants against the defense, or even somebody like Burrow. You can't just go do what you want against the other defense. Whereas Purdy has a little bit more of a chance because of the stability around him.
Well, the 49ers in Kansas City played this year, and that was the only game that the 49ers got blew out.
Yeah, beginning of the year.
Yeah, they lost by like 23, 24 points or something like that. They got blew out. Kansas City almost put up 40 against them. You know what I'm saying? I think
Garoppolo was playing that game.
Yeah, that was Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Like
I think they're different now.
No, yeah. I feel like at some point that if they beat Philly, then I'm a believer.
Yeah.
I'm a believer then. They go into Philly and beat Philly and hold that offense down enough to where they can win a game with their offense, then I'm with you. I might even flip and go over to the 49ers thinking they might win if they beat Philly.
Well, here I got another one for you. Defensive player of the year: Parsons, Jones, or Bosa? Yeah, I already know what you're gonna say.
Hey, and this is no bias. This is not bias at all. This is not bias.
Whatever.
Yeah, I swear to God, this is not bias at all, bro. But come on, bro. You know I'm going with Parsons, man. Come on, man. You know I'm going with Parsons, man. My boy is not a defensive end. He's a linebacker. Okay, he's a linebacker. Bosa is a defensive end, so of course Bosa's gonna have more sacks than Michael Parsons. He doesn't play linebacker; he plays defensive end. He's rushing the passer all the time, except 5% of the time when he might.
Parsons better as an end, though.
I mean, I know, but they put so much roles on him. He plays both. He plays, you know what I'm saying, multiple ones. So because of that and the fact that he has every game where he can play linebacker or play defensive end and affect the game, I think you have to give it to him because he makes plays like he did against the Chicago Bears when the fumble and Fields jumped over him and he was the only one who knew that he wasn't down and ran the ball back for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Or the defensive play that he did against Detroit. I'm sorry. On the screen play that he caught y'all on the 1 yard line.
That saved the game.
You know what I'm saying? And he was beat that play. He was already, he could have been out of the play. He had already chased the quarterback. And he still had enough wherewithal to turn around, go down and chase the running back down and stop him from going into the touchdown. Those type of plays don't get seen, you know what I'm saying, on the big plays. And I feel like when you do that as well as rush the passer at an elite level, even though you're not even a pass rush per se as a defensive end, yeah, come on, bro. You gotta be one of the, if not the best player in the league, bro. I mean, we just basing our facts because Bosa got more sacks than him. He should. He's a defensive end. He plays defensive end 95% of the time. Parsons doesn't do that. Parsons will be in the middle of the field one play and then be on defensive end the next play. You know what I'm saying? Like that and he affects the defense in both ways. He plays at an elite level in both ways, whether he's playing linebacker or whether he's playing defensive end. That's the best player in the league. I mean, come on, man.
Well, if I had to vote, I've definitely seen more Parsons than I have Bosa. I do think that Bosa is a great defensive end. But if I had to vote, I'm going Aiden Hutchinson, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man. Hey, rookie defensive player. Hey, either him or Sauce Walker. I mean,
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, Sauce Gardner. Hey, I said Sauce Walker, but yeah, Sauce Gardner, man. Hey, either one of them two. I think Sauce Gardner, what that boy have done, not giving up a touchdown.
Hey, nice.
The whole season.
That's nice.
And he played against some wide receivers too, man. It ain't like he played against some trash wide receivers. He played against some wide receivers and ain't gave up a touchdown the whole season as a rookie. He shut down the whole side over there. So
he was always guarding the elite guy too, the number one guy.
Yeah, and he shut him down. Like I said, not a touchdown the whole entire season. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Hutchins had a great season, man. That was a great pick by y'all. That's a 10-year vet, bro. Y'all treat him right. They got y'all a 10-year vet on y'all here, man. That's a good player, bro.
Yeah. I don't know though. Honestly, I don't know who I would vote. I didn't see Chris Jones play this year, even though I know he's pretty solid. That dude for Kansas City. I like Parsons. Again, I honestly think they should put him almost exclusively at defensive end or just being able to work that front four anywhere he wants. If you want to be on the left, right, middle, wherever, let him do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I like the way they do with him because I feel like when you put him in a defensive end, now you can play him for him. But when you move him around like a chess piece, you really don't know where he's coming from because then he can play on the left end, he can play on the right end, he can blitz from the middle. You know what I'm saying? So instead of putting him in a set position, being able to move him around like you do, like I say, like a wide receiver where you can put him outside, inside. You know what I'm saying? Line up to the tight end or whatever like that. That's different. So I feel like the way Parsons plays him makes him so hard to guard against, to where he's able to put up those elite numbers as he does. Only if he goes to being a full-time pass rusher, I don't know if he'll put up the same numbers, because I believe people will be able to prepare for him better than what they do, because not knowing where he's going to be at all times.
Yeah. Drop him back in that coverage sometimes still. That
Yeah.
still keep that versatility. You know what I mean? Jeff say styles make fights. Mahomes neutralizes the 49ers pass rush with the quick game.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I say, like, I just don't feel like his matchup, that matchup will be better. I think a lot of people, and I could be wrong, but especially with a rookie quarterback going into the Super Bowl, everybody's gonna pick up Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's gonna expect Patrick Mahomes to win. Matter of fact, Patrick Mahomes probably couldn't lose, or that would do something to his legacy. Because losing to a rookie quarterback, that's never happened. A rookie quarterback has never won the Super Bowl before. So to let a rookie quarterback win the Super Bowl against you, and you supposed to be one of the elites, that would definitely hurt his legacy. So
that'll hurt Andy Reid. Reid too.
Facts. So that would definitely hurt their legacy. So they would have to win if they play against the 49ers. I'd rather for Philly and Kansas City to be the matchup. Like I said, I just feel like with the 49ers, a rookie quarterback doesn't give me the full, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they got elite defense, but I don't feel like they can beat anybody in the AFC, because the AFC, they have a pretty good defense, but they got elite quarterbacks that's been there before, that've done it before, that knows what it takes to win at that level or play at that level. And this is a rookie quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He ain't played but 7 games in the league, and then you in the Super Bowl playing against possibly another Hall of Famer across the field over there that have done this already. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you're going to need a little bit more than I feel like Philly has a little bit more than the Niners do.
Okay. Well, we shall see, man.
We
shall see. I'm still pulling 49ers out of that the Eagle Stadium, MetLife Stadium, whatever it is. And I think that next year will be Philly's year, but it won't be this year. All right? It won't be this year. Next year, man.
Negative. Nah, next year, Hey, I know we don't keep talking about the Cowboys, but in the NFC East, for the last 17 years, it have never been a repeat in the NFC East to win the division. For every year for the last 17 years, it's been a different team to win the NFC East. Philly won it this year. They're not winning next year. It's not. They're not back. They're not going back. So whatever high that they get to this year, they won't reach it next year. I'm putting money on it. They're gonna be probably good. They're not going to the Super Bowl again if they make it this year.
Okay. Well, I talked about Ed Reed when I first opened up. You wasn't on the podcast, so I'm kind of switching gears. But yeah, he ain't got a lot of friends right now with how he handled that HBCU situation. But I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
HBCU's been tripping too. So, it's like, I think that it goes back to having the clout and the resume to be able to demand certain things. And I mentioned Dion, right?
Yeah.
Dion, just because you're a great player doesn't make you a great businessman, doesn't make you a great coach, doesn't make you a great motivator. You know what I'm saying? And Ed Reed, both of them are respected. Ed Reed's respected, so is Dion. But Dion's respect is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's different. His the way he can move the crowd is different.
Yeah.
The way he moves the needle is different. So
I think people need to, what Ed Reed has showed us, that's why people need to give Deion Sanders the respect that he deserves. Because people make this seem like this stuff easy, bro. It's not.
Right.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy to lead men and be successful and have people to buy in and also shake hands with boosters and shake hands with alumni and shake hands with everybody, so have men to lead them into success. Jackson State was a phenomenon, and people knew what they was coming into when they went to go see those games. And he knew the pressure that game played for them to win and to show up. And they did. You know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. It's not easy with the type of things that you have to go against and have to, you know what I'm saying, and face. And I think Ed Reed from the outside looking in, like other coaches think that this stuff is easy. Like everybody thinks this stuff comes. Prime is a leader of men, and he's a showman. He teaches them guys different things about being a man and a player. You know what I'm saying? And that's just one half of what he do. Like I said, other than shaking hands with alumni and having parties with boosters and recruiting and stuff like that. And so for him to be successful like he was, you gotta tip your hat to him, man, and give him some respect. And I hope he succeeds at Colorado. I hope that opens doors for people that wants to be like Deion and follow behind him, because it's a lot of them that do that. But Ed Reed, man, that stuff is not easy, man. Your name doesn't make people want to, you know what I'm saying, do something. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what he thought. I thought he thinking that he was going to go down to college because he's Ed Reed. Things were just going to change. Things were just going to start happening.
Right.
And it's not like that. It's not that easy. And Deion, it wasn't easy for Deion. You know what I'm saying? Deion really worked hard and put effort to be the success that he is, and it's continued to pay off. And I think he's going to do the same thing at Colorado, because I believe that Deion really is a leader of men, and people
I'm
follow
not happy about the Colorado thing, but I do want to say it again. Deion was always one of my favorite players. You know what I'm saying? Especially corners. Him and Charles Woodson, my favorite corners. Michael, from back in the day. Frank Minifield, Hanford Dixon. You know what I'm saying? All these guys had the same kind of styles as corners. Shout out to Dustin Smith. He said Deion coached for high school for years leading up, had tons of success before Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. People don't know that, man. People don't know that he had a high school in Dallas called Primetime Prep, where he was teaching in high school. See, people don't know that this man has started this a long time ago. He went from high school to JUCO college to junior college to a black college to a D1 college, and then he might go to an NFL. Deion ain't let his name be the reason why he ain't made to his level. He let his coaching be the reason why he ain't made to his level. And you gotta respect that, man. You gotta respect somebody who's not taking no enemy out because of what they have done and actually working their way up to become what they is.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with that schedule, with talent, and obviously he's gonna get players, but now it's not about you getting players when you get to Power 5, schools. Because everybody has players.
Yeah, man, you was texting about that the other day when you sent me the schedule. And what did I tell you? I said that's a hard schedule, man.
Yeah, it is.
That's not an easy schedule. Colorado do not have an easy. They gotta play TCU the second game of the season. TCU was just in the national championship, and they might have a better team next year than they did this year.
Right.
So it's not an easy win. So like I said, and it shouldn't be. It should be tough. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's being successful, like I said, you need to give him his credit. You need to give him what he was called, because you can't say, he had a weak schedule and it wasn't there what's called. If this man goes in there his first year or second year and makes Colorado a successful team to where they're a name in the Pac-12, come on, man. This man did it at 3 different levels.
Yeah, last year I think they won 3 games or something like that.
Yeah.
So, if this year, I think most people are predicting like a 6-5 or 7-5 season. If you get 8 wins, 9 wins, they're gonna rank him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, man. If Colorado ain't getting that many recruits like that. I mean, he has flipped some good recruits in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, got a couple 5-star. I've seen the 5-star cornerback that he got. That he flipped from Notre Dame. So, I mean, I see he is starting getting recruits. Like I said, Deion is a leader of men, bro. And when you see him and Deion sits in your living room and he tells you that he can get you to the NFL and he knows what it takes to be a Hall of Fame player and how you can make a businessman mentality to where you can have football or you can have something beyond football. When you're 19 years old and you see that man standing in front of you, I mean, what do you want to do?
Also, Red, you look at generational influence too. Deion's not that old to where the kids can't go Google him and look at his work, right? But not only that, he has us.
Yeah,
I'm not saying like I'm not recruiting for him, but I mean he has our generation. That's like, Deion's that dude. Yeah. Hey, they son. I'm telling you, go play for him.
This is the way you need to go play.
I get what you're saying. Definitely get what you're saying. I want to read some of the comments real quick. Black coaches get zero room. If he goes 3-9, it's gonna get ugly fast. We will see what Dion does. He already has 2 number 1 cornerbacks to grace the outs.
He does.
He getting the talent. Yeah,
He does. Like I said, he has his son at quarterback. He got that one wide receiver that he brought from Jackson State also. So
Yeah.
I mean, he has some of his players, and Colorado did win 3 games. I know it's not a lot, but they have players that's already on the team, and Dion might be able to bring the better out of them also. You know what I'm saying? And see what they do. So I don't know if he's gonna go off. I don't expect him to win. I think he might win 7, like you said, like a 7-5, 8-4 maybe. And I think that's a big step up, man. I think that's
big step.
Means success. I think that's a successful year.
That's big step. Well, listen, brother, we done went over a little bit. I had a great time chit chat with you and catching up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Leonard. Shout out to Val. Shout out to Kinfolk JB. DJ Tonio, all of them was a little busy. Shout out to all y'all, those Sports Talk Texas. Everybody from Thawed Magazine that listens. Shout out to everybody who supports us Thursday from 7 to 8. So we'll be back next week, man, and check on these playoff games, man, and get ready for the Super Bowl. You dig?
Yeah, I already know it, man.
All right, brother. You have a good evening, all right, man?
Hey, man, you be good. Be safe, bro.
All right, family.